The scorching Mesopotamian sun reaches its peak in the afternoon. Harsh sandstorms blow across the land of Canaan. Under the shade of the oak trees of Mamre near Hebron, a tent stands. Abraham, 99 years old, sits at the entrance of his tent. His face is wrinkled, but his eyes remain sharp and alert. His gaze stretches toward the distant horizon. Suddenly his eyes flash with recognition. In the distance, he sees the silhouettes of 3 men. Strangers walking across the hot desert sand. Abraham's heart begins to race. How strange. Who would be traveling through here in the blazing heat of midday? The 3 men draw closer. They appear to be ordinary travelers. But Abraham senses something different about them. Abraham springs to his feet. His knees ache, but he doesn't care. He runs toward the 3 men. Wait, please wait. Abraham arrives breathless before the 3 men. And surprisingly, he bows down to the ground. My lords, if I have found favor in your sight, please do not pass by your servant. The 3 men stand quietly. There is an unfathomable depth in their eyes. Abraham speaks earnestly. Let a little water be brought, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. In the desert, water for washing feet is as precious as life itself. Abraham is ready to give away something precious to him. And I will bring a morsel of bread, that you may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on. One of the 3 men slowly nods his head. Do as you have said. Abraham's face lights up. He hurries to Sarah's tent. Sarah, 90 years old, comes out in surprise. What is it, my dear? Quick, take 3 measures of fine flour, knead it, and make bread. Sarah doesn't understand what's happening, but she immediately gets to work. Abraham himself runs to the cattle. From hundreds of cows, he chooses the finest calf. A tender, prime calf. His servant Eliezer comes running. Yes, master. Quickly slaughter this calf and prepare it. Hurry. Eliezer slaughters the calf. Abraham personally prepares butter and milk. His movements are urgent, but there's also joy in them. As if this is the moment he's been waiting for his entire life. An hour later, the fragrant aroma of food fills the tent area. Abraham personally carries the food. Butter, milk, the freshly cooked calf meat, and warm bread that Sarah made. He carefully sets everything before the 3 men. Please, eat. Abraham stands beside them and serves. He doesn't sit down but continues standing, ministering to them. The 3 men quietly eat the food. Abraham treasures their every bite. When the meal is finished, one of the 3 men speaks. Where is Sarah your wife? Abraham is startled. How do they know Sarah's name? She is in the tent. The man says, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife shall have a son. Sarah is listening behind the tent. Her eyes grow wide. Sarah laughs to herself. After I am worn out, and my Lord is old, shall I have pleasure? At that moment, he speaks. Why did Sarah laugh and say, shall I indeed give birth, now that I am old? Sarah's face turns white as a sheet. How could he know her thoughts from behind the tent? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At these words, Abraham's knees buckle. Now he realizes who these men truly are. At the appointed time I will return to you, about this time next year, and Sarah shall have a son. Sarah denies it out of fear. I did not laugh. No, but you did laugh. There is no rebuke in that voice, only warmth. Like a loving father speaking to his dear daughter. The 3 men rise. They begin walking toward Sodom. Abraham follows to escort them. His heart is complicated. Joy and fear, gratitude and awe are all mixed together. Then the Lord says, Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Abraham's steps stop. Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. Then comes a terrifying word. Because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great and their sin is very grave, I will go down to see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come to me. And if not, I will know. Abraham's heart trembles. His nephew Lot lives in Sodom. 2 of them head toward Sodom, and the Lord remains with Abraham. Abraham draws near and says, Will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked? His voice trembles. Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you then sweep away the place and not spare it for the 50 righteous who are in it? The Lord says, If I find at Sodom 50 righteous in the city, I will spare the whole place for their sake. Abraham takes courage. Behold, I have undertaken to speak to the Lord, I who am but dust and ashes. His earnest plea begins. Suppose 5 of the 50 righteous are lacking. Will you destroy the whole city for lack of 5? If I find 45 there, I will not destroy it. Suppose 40 are found there? For the sake of 40 I will not do it. Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 are found there? I will not do it, if I find 30 there. Suppose 20 are found there? For the sake of 20 I will not destroy it. Finally Abraham makes his last plea. Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak again but this once. Suppose 10 are found there? For the sake of 10 I will not destroy it. The Lord finishes speaking with Abraham and departs. Abraham also returns to his place. That night Abraham cannot sleep. Everything that happened today feels like a dream. The 3 men who appeared to be ordinary travelers, but hosting them was hosting God himself. Abraham goes outside his tent and looks up at the stars. Countless stars are twinkling. Your descendants shall be as numerous as these stars. He remembers the promise God made long ago. Now the time has come for that promise to become reality. This time next year, Sarah will give birth to a son. Sarah at 90 years old. Himself at 99. Becoming parents. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Those words are deeply engraved in Abraham's heart. The next morning, Abraham rises early and looks toward Sodom and Gomorrah. Smoke is rising. The 2 cities have been destroyed with sulfur and fire. But Lot and his family were saved. The result of hospitality was blessing. To the one who welcomed God, the fulfillment of the covenant came. To the one who interceded for the righteous, there was an answer. 1 year later, Sarah indeed gives birth to a son, Isaac, a name meaning laughter. Sarah says, God has made laughter for me, everyone who hears will laugh over me. Abraham holds baby Isaac in his arms. He has become a father at 100 years old. That day's hospitality was the beginning of all these miracles. Welcoming strangers was welcoming angels. No, it was welcoming God himself. Dear beloved believers, did you see Abraham's hospitality? He gave everything he had for 3 strangers passing by in the blazing heat of midday. He slaughtered his finest calf, made bread from fine flour, and prepared butter and milk. And he stood beside them and served them personally. Hebrews chapter 13 verse 2 tells us, do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. Abraham unknowingly hosted God himself. What was the result? He received Isaac, the promised son he had waited 25 years for. His intercession for his nephew Lot was answered. Hospitality is not simply serving food. It's opening your heart to welcome others. It's willingly sharing your time, your resources, and your sincere care. What is our world like today? Even in coffee shops, you have to pay to sit down, and everything is calculated and measured. But Abraham's hospitality was different. Without conditions, without expecting anything in return, he simply served with all his heart. Have you ever had such an experience? Have you ever received genuine hospitality from someone? Have you ever received love that doesn't calculate, service without conditions? When you receive such hospitality, your heart becomes warm. Your trust in the world is restored. You feel God's love. On the other hand, what about your experience of extending such hospitality to others? Have you ever shared what you have without any conditions? Have you ever sincerely served someone even when you had no time, no resources, or when you were exhausted? Romans chapter 12 verse 13 says, contribute to the needs of the saints and seek to show hospitality. This is the command given to us. Hospitality is not a choice but a calling. But there's something to be careful about when showing hospitality. Like Abraham, we should serve but leave the results to God. Abraham met God as a result of his hospitality, but he didn't know this would happen when he offered hospitality. He simply did his best with a heart for his guests. We should be the same. When we show hospitality, we shouldn't expect rewards. We just serve with the Lord's heart, as if we're serving the Lord himself. God takes responsibility for the results. As Matthew chapter 25 verse 40 says, as you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me. When we show hospitality to someone, we're showing hospitality to Jesus who dwells within them. So start living a life of hospitality from today. To your family, to your neighbors, to fellow church members, and even to strangers. Open wide the door of your heart to welcome them. Open the door of your home, the door of your wallet, the door of your time. When you do this, amazing things will happen. Just as Abraham was given his promised son, God's blessings will come upon us too. Abraham's hospitality, warmer than any coffee shop. This is the model of faith we need to learn today. Isn't that absolutely true? If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please share your own experiences of hospitality in the comments. May God's grace and peace be with all of you, our family in faith.